I think I'll be there Wednesday or Thursday of this week, and
Right on.
we'll post it and make sure as the time gets closer. But I'll be there at Invincible Academy in Wiley, Texas, and it's going to be a good time. I guarantee it. If people are out there and haven't trained there before, I'm going to be there, so it'll be a perfect opportunity to get a warm welcome. You would have anyway, but an extra warm welcome, and it would be awesome, a pleasure to train with anybody that comes by. So be looking for that. Now, what are we going to be looking at? Right?
Ooh, it's spicy.
What are you eating?
Ramen.
Oh yeah, the like the 28-cent kind.
No, like the fancy pack kind with like actual like ground beef.
Oh man, yeah, you did get bougie.
Yeah.
So be it. So be it, man. That's
It's
good
like
stuff. I like that kind of crap.
yeah, no, this one's more flavorful.
So what should we be looking at?
Well, I mean, you know what? I was actually looking at I actually saw a clip that I wanted to play you. So this would be perfect because that's what I do now. I look for interesting fights or maybe dangerous situations, and I was like, that'd be great to show on the show. So this one is going to be Cowboy versus Robber with a little 6-shooter.
Okay. Okay. He's motioning with the gun, and he looks away. And boom, bear hug over the arms. Now he did start fighting with the hand, and he had no trouble getting that damn gun out of the hand.
Well, the guy looked like he was going to like shoot behind himself. You know what I mean?
So this is a very Jiu-Jitsu riddled problem right here, because the danger's in it was in the left hand, and now the danger is in the right hand. So this dude turns and he points the danger in the opposite direction.
And he did not hesitate to go after him too.
No.
That dude has some brass balls.
Now he wanted
pulled
to
out a
throw.
knife. He pulled out a knife. You see the knife in his right hand?
I didn't see that until just now, but that's when things get serious right now.
Yeah, so we go back and he's trying to stab him. So he pulls out the blade out of his pocket, and then he's definitely stabbing him.
Yeah, he's stabbing him the whole time, dude. Man, he probably wouldn't have time to do the defense, just like a standard defense. So I would, just to limit the amount of damage that he's gonna be doing, you'd feel like he's tapping me. But you'd probably see that dang knife there before you felt it. Believe it or not. Some people would think that a knife going into your body would feel like a knife going into your body.
I don't know
But
if it was a dull knife because it didn't really do any
either
damage.
way,
What's up, Noel?
either way,
Oh, did you get him or they burn? Yeah. Yeah, thanks for taking those out for me. I forgot about them. Yeah, I'm gonna burn the house down. I was in a bit of a hurry. I left cookies in the oven.
oh, that's no problem. So either way, the knife going into flesh, whether it's sharp, dull, whatever the case is, if the thing makes entry into the body, chances are the person isn't going to feel it. They're just going to feel the pressure, the tap. So that's why you have to really focus on people's hands, whether you're in law enforcement, just doing jujitsu, fighting. It's always a good idea to kind of have an eye on the hands, the shoulders, the areas where the danger is gonna like formulate.
Right.
So him pulling that knife out, if it was a knife, and it looked like that he had it. So there's like ice pick variation, and then an underhanded variation, and that's what it looked like he was using. He might have been doing a little bit like a side or under or a mix of the two, but it would be the same defense to entirely stop worrying about the guy and only worry about that arm and hand where the knife is.
So you think it
But
was like a dull knife?
either way, man, I don't want to I don't want that thing to touch me. So I wouldn't find out if it was dull or sharp. I would take it and then, afterwards be like, oh, it wasn't even sharp, but I would take it anyway. Now, the reason is you're already in a dang fight where somebody has pulled a weapon. So you can either try to take it or just keep getting stuck. This is the scenario. A lot of times folks will say, I'm not going to try to take a gun or a knife or something like that from somebody. I'm just going to give them my whatever they want. No problem. But if you've already got in the melee, then you really don't have the chance to just give them your stuff. They're
No,
already they're ready to go.
you're already fighting.
So at that point, if you can take the knife, take the knife. If you cannot take the knife, then the motion, the distance of this is what has to be limited. So it would not be fun, but I would probably clench like as tightly as I could over this area right here. Just pull it all together so that he would kind of be tied up with that arm like this. It would only be able to move that. So you would still probably get cut a little bit, maybe, but you wouldn't get stabbed. So that's just a
Yeah,
like,
it didn't look like he had a mark on him.
yeah,
There's no
no,
blood.
it might not have even been a knife. I don't know what the case was, but
Could
that's
have been
what
a butter knife.
that's what you should do regardless. You should respond as if that weapon is the most deadly weapon in the world, not figure one way or the other. And in Helson's case, what you were just talking about, the butter knife, he uh, one of them did work and one of them didn't. Isn't that the way that you understood it?
That the knife defense worked.
Yeah, that he tried to stick him once and he wasn't ready for it, so he like got him with a butter knife. We're talking about Helson and his brother,
Yeah, didn't
and
he
he's
hit him in
told,
the ribs?
yeah, yeah, he's told this story publicly many times, so it's not like we're talking out of school. That Helson stabbed holes with a butter knife in the ribs when they were kids. And the first time he got him, and evidently they scuffled around and Holes beat him up. He did this again, and he went to stick him. But the second time, I think that Holes did the defense and took the knife and then rushed Helson just straight into the bathroom, where he pushed him into the bathtub and just beat the dog pee out of him, according to Helson. So,
Well,
and
what was the age difference at this time? We're talking about how old are these guys and
yeah,
how old is Elson here? I'm talking like
that's a
him's
good
a
question.
little kid.
Let me see. I know I might go missing here for a second, but let me see. I know Holes was the an actual son of Carlos Gracie Sr. Uh, June 6, 9. Oh, that's his death. He was born 1951.
Mm-hmm.
Holes was, and Helson is 53. 53. So we got 2 years I think Helson said he was like young, like surprisingly, like 11 or something like that, maybe 12. So Holes would have been 14.
And that's a big difference. I remember listening to that story of Henry getting into that fight against his older brother, you know, and getting beat up in front of all of his uncles.
Yeah.
It's a big difference whenever you have like 2 extra years of jujitsu and you know you're one's going through puberty, one's hasn't yet. So there's a big strength difference too. But was
Yeah.
that
I
was that
mean,
the actual the case? That was the age.
yeah, yeah, that was it. So not just that, but the block of 2 years at that point is so big because one of them is kind of still thinking about the playground and like, what am I going to do after school? And one of them is starting to think, I I am a Gracie. I am a fighter. I am gonna be a warrior for the family. So he's like already started to climb the mountain. And Helson's just noticing like, oh, there's a mountain there. So that's why that was went down the way that it did. I think, I wasn't there. I know that Helson quickly shot up that dang mountain himself,
Yeah.
but either way. So what else do we got here?
Oh, what year was Hickson born?
Hickson is younger than him by far, I think. Yeah, he's November 21, 1959.
Oh, okay.
Helson,
So six years.
yeah. So
That's a
what? He would have
long time.
been.
He's
I
way
mean, he would
younger.
have been 6 years old. Yeah,
Imagine like
he's a
your big brother at Telson. Like
man.
we can't do
I
nothing.
think Helson is he really is a gentleman, as we know him to be,
Oh yeah.
and
But as like a
and
kid,
everybody.
imagine. No, yeah, just imagine that as a kid though. Like knowing jujitsu. Your older brother is good at jujitsu. I mean, like that'd be
Well,
brutal if we had older brothers that we grew up with jujitsu and our older brothers were that much older than us. Like we would be probably very nice to our older brother.
yeah, you better believe it. I mean, imagine we're talking about Helson, not like a guy like Helson. Helson, we're talking about Helson. So Helson is your older brother. You're 6, Helson's 12, something like that, 6 years older. That, I think that Helson, I know it actually, that Helson would be the type of brother that would protect his little brother and
Oh,
respect
for
and, take care of him. And but also to have a tough love, kind of like a Helson is just kind of like rough, soft. It's hard to explain. Like give you a hug around the neck, and this is a nice gesture, but it's like a freaking hey, how you doing, buddy? One of these kind of deals. Because Helson is a very physical being. So that whole picture had to, including Holes and Hickson. Uh, I'm sorry, Hickson was younger.
yeah.
Holes, the older brothers, he had to, but even Helson, younger than him, 6-year-old Helson is probably hell on wheels, and then you got above him, above Hickson, what is clearly a like very gifted athlete and a very good jujitsu guy. So he's looking around and seeing like, man, my dad is a Superman. My older brother is like He's gonna overtake what my dad did. My little brother is freaking like Sonic the Hedgehog. I know he didn't exist at the time, but he's a beast. Who am I gonna be? He's gonna be Hickson freaking Gracie.
Yeah, and just being in that family, like there's already like going to be fighting involved and jujitsu involved, but then when you have like a physical specimen and like a very intelligent fighter, deadly combo.
Absolutely. Whenever if you have a you can't have a master of defending in a school unless you have a master of attacking. So I'm gonna write that down. So well, I'm not gonna write it down. You're gonna write it down. Let me do this one more time. Somebody better grab a pen and paper or press your record. It's already recording, so you got it covered. In order to be a master of defending, you have to know a master of attacking. You got to be good friends with that guy. You and him are like tight. If that's the case, then you are probably a master of defending. That's what Hickson had. And Hickson had that his whole life because he had his dad to bounce off. And so many people discount that, and I don't know why. They kind of I understand they're looking at the other brothers like they're kind of just building each other up. But what made Hickson so good at attack? It's that he got so many hours attacking his dad, and his dad's defense is like 100 out of 100. So he has to figure out like magical ways to finish the fight. And those magical ways, like he's got to get all the way to 10 to be able to get close to finishing Eliu. So if he rolls with like a world champion, he's only get to get like 6 or 7 to defeat them. So for everybody watching, it's just like Hickson is just going right through them. It's because his attack was based off of that freaking defense and vice versa. So Elio just got better and better at defense because of Hickson, the other brothers. Could you imagine that? That's the freaking secret of the whole thing. They all got better because they had somebody else to bounce off of that was like special sent down from God himself. That there's no other way to explain that than God ordained that and put that together.
You
So
want to
let's
look at some more robbery videos?
we can do that. We can look at
This one's a
like
short one.
self defense. Let's see what happens.
Points the gun.
The guy's already very like the Marine. As soon as the guy walks in, he makes eye contact, and that was probably unsettling to this potential robber. When he came in with that gun, he felt like everybody in the place was going to be timid. But the guy had he has his shoulders squared when he turns. Look, eye contact. Never breaks it. Boom.
He drops his keys. He has
Oh,
his keys in his hand, drops the keys, goes
and
to the gun.
the dude with him is just like, he's like, you might want to cut this part out. He's just like, I'm out. How about this? His buddy, the guy with him, the second that he saw, oh, there's this dude. There's this corn-fed good old boy, and he's ready to. There's this corn-fed good old boy grabbing a gun out of my buddy's hand. That does not bode well for me. with my sack of what potatoes. It looked like he had a bag of potato chips in his hand. That is not going to be helpful. Um, what about we can look at challenge matches as well? Just like now, you know what? We really need to look at some law enforcement uses jujitsu. The guy's got the knife on the counter.
The time
Oh
between
hell
Yeah, I've
yeah!
been trying to find some.
and gas.
This is your perfect chance, man, right here. And he did go a little bit high, you know.
Gasky told us the
Well, you don't know. He doesn't know.
calculations
No, he's got balls.
in
He's got balls of steel.
That is a
I
big
don't.
dude.
I don't want him to get cut though. So if anybody else think it needs to do this,
We've got
we
a
would.
CrossFit t-shirt on.
Oh yeah. I bet you this dude was either.
Oh shoot, that looks like you behind the counter.
He's took him right down, dude. He slammed him.
Better than you
So
had your long hair.
I'm growing
Like,
it back.
from this angle, it looks like my brother, man, or maybe me.
It's just the fact that his body is like so fills out that shirt. That's what you see from Micah. Like I've never seen an arm fill out a shirt so like that's what it's supposed to look like. Dang, dude, mine doesn't look like that. So I was gonna say we would recommend if you have to do what this guy did to get that rear clinch with the arm in the mix closer to the weapon. He went high, so the weapon is free to swing and slash and stab.
He kind of had his hand over. He was trying to block it with his hand.
He definitely he had it looked like I mean he had a plan. I think he had time because of where he was and he was able to look it over that he thought about it so he had less thinking to do than the bad guy did. But man, that bad guy, all it takes is for his hand to break free for a second and you're stuck. So you know, it's recommended to clinch closer to the weapon. So
Let's check this handoff out.
what's that?
Other guy. I just want to see this guy take over this officer, but the guy's done fighting. Yeah, and doesn't even want to move.
Was he
Well, what do
just
you want to look up next? Well, it looked like he just gave up. He had already had fun with the firefighter guy.
Yeah, he felt it. He felt it. The feeling. Everybody that's trained knows the feeling that you're like done, done.
Yeah, those last two though we didn't record.
Those last two that we didn't abort.
We didn't record those last two. We got to retake these.
Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about those. We're nothing special. Let's do the Hickson and Hoyler.
What, Hickson versus Hoyler?
Do Hickson Hoyler pride demonstration.
All right, this one here.
I can't see it. It's
Oh yeah.
not, yeah. And this, you know, this particular one might not be the video that gets us 1,000,000 views, but it's super interesting for you and I just to watch it together. Yeah. I think the top two are the same thing. Can you make it bigger?
Here's the self-defense portion.
So, mind you, this is the original 40 techniques. Modern combatives is 36 lessons, but like 4 slices in each one. So whatever that is, 140. In other words, 40 lessons versus 140. It was very short and to the point, that course. But this is what it's supposed to look like.
Oh, yeah.
Like perfect self-defense techniques. Now the arm lock there was a little bit not technical, so Hickson makes him. He's like, I'm gonna punish you a little bit, so you need to do something else right here. So he didn't let the arm lock work. He made him transition to a triangle.
It's really interesting, boss. I think the technique is so smooth with these guys. It really is. Yeah, their family has been.
What I see whenever I see this type of this exact demonstration is the like perfection that Gordon Ryan shows when he's cinching down tighter and tighter and tighter until he taps somebody out that's a really good guy. That perfection, that's what this detailed fundamental razor sharps edge looks like to me.
It's crazy how like the finer details of these techniques matter so much.
It's the biggest thing in the world, even bigger than sport, because the consequences in sport are you lose the point or the position. But the consequences in kind of deal is you might get your teeth knocked out or worse. He's looking for weapons. Are they looking for weapons? Maybe not. Leg hook takedown. Oh, check this arm lock out, dude. Right, it's like perfect.
Oh yeah.
He didn't do a setup because his body was already like morphing into an arm lock.
I really like this.
Nice. Always like this one. Always like this technique.
Nice to see someone change that.
Because it ends in a foot lock.
Because to see
The way that it's taught.
good, clean technique.
And Hoyler's got good foot locks. Nice shoulder roll. It would be hard to not say, the stuff, regardless if it's Hickson or some white belt. If somebody does a perfect shoulder roll in front of me, I cannot not say, nice shoulder roll. Here comes the defense. Boom, Roger. Boom. I feel a hip toss coming. And an arm lock. And that is a bad arm lock right there. Body weight, gravity, assisting your torque and body weight on that lever. That's bad news, man. That is a broken arm. Boom, perfect. Perfection. Ooh. He swept that front foot so that he landed like on his butt. So he couldn't even start to stand back up. That right there is a smart move. I wouldn't have thought of that. But I bet I will now. So now they're gonna roll. The first set of taps, they're kind of like they had an agreement, 1-to-1. You get one, I'll get one.
But Hicks is gonna get him. Of course.
Nice.
Wow. Now that was smooth. Very beautiful. That was smooth. Very nice. Hicks and Grace.
What could be said about this other than this is Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and it's as perfect as it can be?
Yes. Yeah, 1-for-1. Yeah. Tit for tat.
It's Achilles tendon pull. Do they do that technique at 10th Planet?
I just really like the cleanness of
I've never been there when they taught it.
Did I ever show you that technique?
No, I don't recall that. What's the difference between that and the straight foot lock?
The straight foot lock is creating damage to the foot and to the top of the ankle. The Achilles tendon pull is creating stress into the Achilles tendon and stretching it further than it should go at that one small little section. So the foot is being tilted down, but the squeeze is happening right on the Achilles tendon. And when he's leaning back like that, it's making that junction. It's like cutting in, but it's also pulling the end of the Achilles tendon where the rest of it is being like stopped up in that, like a water hose. It's stopped up right there, but you're pulling the other end of the water hose. So you can imagine the stress that's being created right there is extreme. People never give that Achilles tendon pull technique the respect that it deserves, because you can really hurt somebody with that technique. There was a butterfly hook there for like the splittest of seconds. Now Hickson's already setting himself up to land on his feet whenever he tries this butterfly sweep. Boom. This is where Joe rolled me. Hickson's not being tricked like I was, though. Oh, wow. He's in the crucifix for like a split second. He's going to try the arm lock. Hickson shoulder rolls again with his perfect shoulder roll. And he's thinking about an arm lock. Or that thing. Dudes like to do that. I've never gotten good at that technique where you like step over the person's head and use the gi on one side and your step on the other to choke them. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I've never done it. I mean, I think I've stepped over people's heads before, but I haven't done that choke.
Joe tried to do that to me a bunch, probably like 35 times. But if you watch, do what?
I wonder who showed him that.
I showed him the technique.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I've been obsessed with that, taking the back from the guard.
Absolutely. Because nobody's prepared for that. Now I realize how that sounded about the step over. I don't like to do that step over just because I don't like the way it feels for me. You know, like some positions you like and some you don't, but it's totally legit, and some people gravitate to it. It needs to be in the program, so it needs to be taught. I just don't. I'm not a fan of that technique. The other question you had, what was it? What'd you say?
No, no, I just that's the only thing I had. I've just been thinking about that move a lot, and I have been trying it a lot, and I see it working.
Oh yeah, the take the back from the guard. Yes, yes. Yeah, nobody's ready for that one. Now I think they might be actually rolling here. There goes that foot sweep. Oh, drop Sanagi coming. I can feel it. I can feel it. And I haven't watched this video in a long, long time, so I don't remember what happens. There it is. Other than it's perfect jiu-jitsu. Nice.
Look at this. Oh, how sweet that was.
Man, oh man.
Upside down armbar into a
Hoyler tried to stack him.
regular armbar.
Hickson used a frame so that Hoyler couldn't get but so close without that frame doing damage. So by the time he decided I'm not going to be able to do it forward, then he tried to sit back, and then Hickson stepped over his head. That's as like old school Gracie Jiu-Jitsu as you can get. I'm sure that, Roger, that you have done the arm lock to triangle back and forth deal more than one.
Yeah, a couple times, but not a couple times.
I probably did that a million times, dude. So let's see, Matt Serra in Las Vegas, 11:42. How much time do we got left? Well, maybe we'll cut it after this one if you want.
All right.
Okay, yeah. Hey, oh, and I know another one after this one. We'll do. Oh, dude, it's freaking perfect. Vanderlei. Well, I'll tell you after this one.
Let me see. I think she's good now. Oh no, she's I don't know. It's like
If this is the way it actually played out, clearly Sarah is wasted, but he's not. And you know he's not using hooks. He's just sitting up there. He is sitting up there like the kids sit when they mount each other. Like he has no concerns, zero with him getting him off of him, and he wouldn't get him if he had a jackhammer. He wouldn't get him off of him.
If he started to do something that was actually real, Sarah would just turn it up.
Yeah, the hooks would have went in. He knew before he put his hands on that guy what he would need to do. And he's being very self-defense minded.
It was him. Yeah.
Sarah controlled his hands the whole time.
Yeah, these guys, they want to start stuff and then they want to not take accountability.
Especially, they clearly are outgunned.
Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna. Oh, they're gonna let him get up? No, you sit down.
Yeah, no, somebody needs to be there. I'm not gonna. That's the technique, the way it's taught in the program. If you're getting off, then somebody needs to be there ready to get on. Like we can't just get up and leave the crazy horse where he is because he's going to start bucking. So go to Charles. This just random coincidence. Charles Crazy Horse Bennett. You could do just Crazy Horse versus Shoot Box. Do you know how to spell that?
I don't know how to spell.
CHUTEBOXE, and then like backstage. Yeah, this is the perfect one because we got the crap talking crazy horse. This dude, he was a good fighter, but he's back there talking crap to the shoot box guys, one of which is Vanderlei Silva. So the jiu-jitsu coach is sitting down, and for some reason, Crazy Horse, if memory serves, I might be totally wrong here, but Crazy Horse starts the fight with the jiu-jitsu, and being that they're all Brazilian and he's back there as the lone American, pretty much, they just let the fight go. So it's a no rules fight with a jiu-jitsu guy and a professional MMA fighter. Let's see. Here we go. The dude, Crazy Horse, initiated a good clinch take to the takedown.
Yeah, my favorite part is them just letting the fight go.
Yeah. Like, it's a fair fight. Just let him fight. So he's in that triangle, but he is not going to be letting himself get slammed. Notice that when he dropped, because there was like 6 inches of ground that he could have gotten dropped. Once he lost the leg, he rocked his body so that he would be dropped full body sideways. I would not even recommend that, but it was done exactly like it should have been done. So he couldn't have slammed him on his head. If you ever get picked up off the ground, that's an option. That's why I use it. So he's anchoring again. He really wants that angle. He does not want to get slammed. That dude got mesmerized by those shoes. And we cut back, and he's in the most perfect triangle ever. And then his buddy comes up and says, yeah, he's good. Let him go. But he grabs Crazy Horse rather than the jiu-jitsu guy. He's like, okay, get off him, Crazy Horse. Crazy Horse is just like, dude, I'm sleeping, bruh.
Oh, what happened?
He put him to sleep. So what's interesting about that is that he was doing an unconventional defense from the bottom and unconventional from the slam. But there was a reason. There was a reason for it. That you know how it is when you're practicing with strikes, when somebody cuts that weird angle right there, it's like they're still pulling you forward, but they're at a slight angle so that your attacks can't really have full power because your hands and your body wants to go this way. It's hard to imagine that. I think your their body is pulling your hips kind of slightly at an angle. but you have power in the direction that you're facing. So when the hips get pulled off centered, your body's facing this way, but your hips are facing that way. So it's hard to have power in the direction that your hips are not facing. So he got to that good angle where he could throw his legs up for an arm lock triangle. He at one point did that omoplata. So he's always attacking, but from a position where it's fairly easy to defend if you're good at it. I wouldn't tell anybody to do that because he still probably got hit a couple times, but it would have been ineffective. I just think that if under the right circumstances, somebody might free wiggle their hips free enough to really land a good shot. And why not just manage the distance? He's not really managing the distance. He's just creating a overload on the hands. So, but that worked. That angle kept him from attacking 100%, and it kept him worried about his arm and his neck the whole time. So I guarantee you, when it jumped from him defending to him in the triangle choke, because they were against the curtain, and then it cut back, and they're like 2 or 3 foot away from the curtain. I guarantee you that from that angle, he got back in that setup, the triangle setup, but this time he started to shoulder walk back. And so, because he knows he wants to pull him in and then slam him. He's already proven he's a slammer. So when he landed with that arm and neck, he probably immediately started because he's constantly trying to pull himself back, but he's constantly being pulled forward and choked the whole time. So after the first one, he showed his hand. So these are, of course, professional fighters, but the principles are the same. What is the principle for this issue? I'm not sure. I haven't done the principles enough in the program to know, but I'm sure it has something to do with the overload of the hands. I don't know, the hips being forward and the hands wanting so badly to be posted to the ground. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Can you imagine that, or what do you think?
I think I'm tired.
I think you're tired too. We're done.
You like these late night ones? My commentary just goes to shit.
Well,
Plus, I woke up early this morning. I was babysitting my niece all day, so it's been a while since I've hung out with the 6-year-old all day.
it hasn't been a while for me, dude. Let me tell you what, we just did about maybe 25 minutes of, we did about 15 minutes of class and then about 25 minutes of rolling, with the majority of it being fight centric. I always give her like 5 minutes where it's like, okay, I'm not going to hit you. Just don't let me get you. But the class was standard Elio Gracie. Like, we're going to start with like this. I want you to make an L. Now make a U. Now I want you to, oh, he's got you. You're in a guillotine. Hands up, hands on the knee, and sit to your butt, and then roll. She's going to roll up on top, arm lock. Now he's going to roll to the back, maintain the back, crazy horse, choke, this whole thing. We just did this a few times. But then I'm like, I feel better. I feel like I got you tonight. I could beat you at arm wrestling right now. If we arm wrestle, I'll put your hand down like that. You want to roll? You want to fight? Go. And so like we just start, and she's like going. At one point, we were rolling maybe like 15 minutes. I'm trying really, like, I'm gonna touch her face. I'm gonna just like ooh and touch her face. but she's so high with her elbows. She's like covering her face so perfect. It's like I can't get it. At one point, I looked at Ashley and I was like, after we put Hyla down for a nap or to go to sleep, I want you to come back in here and just roll around and play with Sage. Just see what it feels like, because you don't get to feel that much in your life. What that much of a size difference, age difference, everything feels like when the person is still able to use jiu-jitsu effectively, like very effectively. But she went to sleep. She didn't get to feel it. But man, she's on. She's on, man. She's on tonight. She got a leg hook takedown. She got a freaking. She got a trip. She held me down in the mount for real. Like I had to use some trickery to get out. It's just, it's amazing, man. She's gonna. I'm not even joking when I say, if you're still recording, the freaking people better watch out, because my daughter is better than yours. And that's not ego or anything to do with that. I believe that that God's granted her the gift to be the best of this generation. It's going to be a girl.
You certainly put her in the right place.
Hey, man, it's going to be a girl this time. So it's Gordon Ryan. It'll be somebody else in the meantime. And then at some point, it's going to be Sage. She's going to be there. She'll be the one. Trust me, y'all watch out. Watch yourselves, because she'll choke you out. She'll armbar you. You won't even believe it. You'll get smoked like that.